Hey guys, I just want to make this a little bit different than the other assignments I'd given you. I'm actually going to read through the story with you, go over your questions, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. It can be a little bit confusing, and I wouldn't have you read this book in class by yourselves, so it makes sense for me to go over the assignments with you. Okay, so on the screen right now, you see the graphic novel, Mouse. We also have these questions. Okay, so for chapter 1, we have where are Art and Francois when Vladek calls saying he has had another heart attack. What do they do? Remember, Art is Vladek's son. Vladek is the one that was interned at Auschwitz concentration camp many years prior. You're going to explain Art's relationship with his ghost brother. Why does Vladek say that Mala, his wife, left? Is there any reason to question the accuracy of the account? What's Mala's side of the story? Number 4, describe the process of becoming a prisoner at Auschwitz by relating Vladek's own experiences there. Explain the special significance the Polish priest finds in Vladek's identification number. How does Vladek respond to the information? Number 6, which skill allows Vladek to get in good with the capo in his barracks? Number 7, explain what skill or skills Vladek uses to survive. That one's very important. And then number 8, Vladek is shown to the audience as a grumpy, cheap, and unbearable. Knowing what he went through as a young adult, are his behaviors understandable? Why or why not? So that's an opinion question, okay? That's based on what you think about Vladek as a whole, okay? So we are going to go through Mouse 2 together. So this is the cover. All of the Jews in this story are depicted as mice, you can tell. All the Nazis are depicted as cats, very symbolic. This is some more information about the book itself, which I'm not going to read through to you. More information about Art and his father, as well as his mother, who passed away by committing suicide. She was also a survivor of the camps. So, chapter 1, Mauschwitz. Summer vacation. Francois and I were staying with friends in Vermont. What are you doing? Trying to figure out how to draw you. Want me to pose? I mean, in my book, what kind of animal should I make you? Huh? A mouse, of course. But you're French. Well, how about a bunny rabbit? Nah, too sweet and gentle. I mean, the French in general. Let's not forget the centuries of anti-Semitism. I mean, how about the Dreyfus Affair, the Nazi collaborators, Okay, but if you're a mouse, I ought to be a mouse too. I converted, didn't I? I'm struggling, people. I've got it. Panel 1. My father is on his exercise cycle. I tell him I just married a frog. Panel 2. He falls off his cycle in shock. So you and I go to a mouse rabbi. He says a few magic words and zap. But at the end of the page, the frog has turned into a beautiful mouse. I only converted to make Vladek happy. Yeah, but nothing can make him happy. You know, you should have married what's-her-name, the girl you were seeing when you first met. Sandra? Yes, when you could just draw mice and no problem. Come on, I just dated her to get over my prejudice against middle-class New York Jewish women. They remind me too much of my relatives to be erotic, so I just... Art, Francois. Hurry, your father just phoned us. He had a heart attack. What? Oh no. He left his number to call. We just saw him last week on the way up here. Stopped at their bungalow in the Catskills. He looked fine. Hi, Pop. How are you? How come you're not in hospital? Huh? But you didn't? You're not? But why did you... She did? But when? What? I can't hear you. Speak up. No, don't cry, Pop. Jesus, I guess so. Tonight? I don't know. Okay. We'll talk about it then. Just relax, okay? Will you be all right? Yes, I love you too. Goodbye. See you soon. Whew. What is it? What happened? Is your father okay? He didn't even have a heart attack. He just wanted to be sure I'd call him back. You're kidding. How could he do such a thing? Mala left him. She took money out of their account and drove off. He wants us to stay with him at his bungalow for a while. I guess we have to go. I guess so. What a pity. You just got here. We'll be back. We're not taking much luggage, so we'll have an excuse not to stay long. Vladek sounded half hysterical on the phone. Poor guy. I feel so sorry for him. Yeah, me too. Till I have to spend any time with him, then he drives me crazy. Depressed again? Just thinking about my book. It's so presumptuous of me. I mean, I can't even make sense out of my relationship with my father. How am I supposed to make any sense out of Auschwitz, of the Holocaust? When I was a kid, I used to think about which of my parents I'd let the Nazis take to the ovens, if I could only save one of them. Usually I'd save my mother. Do you think that's normal? Nobody's normal. So at the bottom of this page, we get a very real conversation between Art and his wife. This kind of conversation right here about wondering which parent he let the Nazis take, it's very realistic. As horrible as it sounds, it really does show us a lot about Art and his relationship with his father. It's not great. But again, most children would probably side with their mothers to begin with. But it just shows that, even though Art didn't experience Auschwitz, he's still trying to understand what that means to be there. Okay, so top of page 15. I wonder if Raikou and I would get along if he was still alive. Your brother? My ghost brother. This is for one of your questions, guys. Since he got killed before I was born, he was only 5 or 6. After the war, my parents traced down the vaguest rumors and went to the orphanages all over Europe. They couldn't believe he was dead. I didn't think about him when I was growing up. He was mainly a large, blurry photograph hanging in my parents' bedroom. I thought that was a picture of you. Thought it didn't look like you. That's the point. They didn't need photos of me in their room. I was alive. The photo never threw tantrums or got in any kind of trouble. It was an ideal kid, and I was a pain in the ass. I couldn't compete. They didn't talk about Raikou, but the photo was a kind of reproach. He'd have become a doctor and married a wealthy Jewish girl, the creep. But at least we could have made him go deal with Vladek. It's spooky having a sibling rivalry with a snapshot. I never felt guilty about Raikou, but I did have nightmares about SS men coming into my class and dragging all those Jewish kids away. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't obsessed with this stuff. It's just that sometimes I'd fantasize Zyklon B coming out of the shower instead of water. I know this is insane, but I somehow wish I had been in Auschwitz with my parents, so I could really know what they lived through. I guess it's some kind of guilt about having had an easier life than they did. I feel so inadequate trying to reconstruct a reality that was worse than my darkest dreams. And trying to do it as a comic strip, I guess I bit off a bit more than I can chew. Maybe I ought to forget the whole thing. There's so much I'll never be able to understand or visualize. I mean, reality is too complex for comics. So much has to be left out or distorted. Just keep it honest, honey. See what I mean? In real life, you'd never let me talk this long without interrupting. Light me a cigarette. And so the Catskills. He said he'd leave the key above the... there it is. Artie? Oh, so darlings, you came finally. I waited and I couldn't sleep. You see how it is now, Artie? She took my money and she ran away. Oi, how could she do it to leave such a sick man like me alone? But now at least I'm happy. I have here you kids to stay together with me. Look how nice I made for you a bed. For the whole summer, you can be comfortable here. Hey, we're just staying for a few days, Pop. Well, in the morning we can speak more. But now you can make yourself at home so as you like. It's your own. Good night, Pop. My God, does he expect us to stay here all summer? I guess so. If he had his way, we'd move to Queens with him too. Please, I'm so tired from waiting till you come. Tomorrow you can talk. Such a sunny day, and you're both still sleeping. This is the next morning. Well, what time is it? It's almost 8, and I've made for a half hour on the porch my gymnastics. Since I was a boy, I've made every day my exercises. Uh-huh. At first, the neighbors tried to make exercises with me, but they couldn't keep up. So now only they watch. Is there any coffee? Mala had some here, instant coffee. Tomorrow we'll exercise together. Well, my only exercise is walking out for cigarettes. Instant coffee will have to do. So we can already tell that in just these 3 panels that Vladik, the father, is being incessant. Telling the kids, oh, it's too late, stop talking, you can talk tomorrow. Waking them up at 8 o'clock. And just kind of like pushing and pushing and pushing all of this stuff. One of your questions talks about how he's so grumpy and miserable. We learn, obviously, that he is a Holocaust survivor. His first wife committed suicide because of everything she went through. So he's had a very tough life. So it's up to you to decide if any of these things are really his fault, or it's kind of expected. Okay. You have to hurry now to get ready. Today, I need your help to prepare my bank and tax papers. Mala left them in a mess. You can't imagine. Yeah, here I have it. It's caffeine-free kind of coffee. Ugh. Have you seen my pants? All your things I put already in order in the bureau there. Well, thanks for not throwing them out. Wake up, honey. I've got bad news. The only coffee here is Sanka. Ugh, I brought our coffee in our pot. Look in my bag. Now what? I'm making for you breakfast, and I see here the salt. Just look what Mala did. The salt's here. It's half full, and she opened it anyway, a new one. I can't eat on my diet any sodium. I don't need even 1 salt container, and now I have 2 open salts. So what happened? Why did Mala leave? She wants that all my money that I worked so hard all my life for, it will only be for her. I had a doctor's appointment in Regal Park, and we went after to the bank to renew some bonds. One I wanted in trust of Mala, one for my brother in Israel, and one I wanted for you. But she didn't like I'll put for you and Pinnock anything. She screamed like a crazy person. She drove away and left me by the bank, and when I walked home, she was already gone. The lawyer says I must make drastic steps. She stole away the jewelry, the car, and the cash from our joint account. I can make charges. Oh, come on. Where's Mala now? To Florida she drove. We're buying their condo. She wants to sell and to grab out the deposit money. But this she can't do. She needs my Artie, what do you do? Huh? I'm just lighting my cigarette. Better you shouldn't smoke. For you, it's terrible. And for me, with my shortness of breath, it's also no good to be near. But if anyway you're smoking, please don't use from my wooden matches. I don't have left so many, and I already to make coffee you used one. Only to light the oven I use them, these wood matches. I have to buy the paper matches. I can have free from the lobby of the Pines Hotel. Geez, I'll buy you a whole box of wooden matches. It isn't necessary. At home, our oven is automatic, and here I'm staying only 15 more days. And I have still 50 matches left. How many matches can I use? What a miser. I can't take it anymore. I'm going out for air. Always Artie is nervous, so like his mother. She was always nervous. Bah. Psst. So again, Vladik is hoarding matches in these panels. Little matches you don't even think about. I don't even think I even own matches. He is hoarding them and talking about how he gets them for free. Crazy.